Welcome to yet another edition of the Stats and Stacks podcast. For today, we're going over UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira. First things first, make sure you smash that like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram, over on TikTok, wherever there's social media. There is the Stats and Stacks podcast. A super quick overview of last week. A lot of hit or miss. Overall, negative week, unfortunately. Both locks hit. We got away by the skin of our teeth with Curtis Blades, got away by the skin of our teeth with Tagir Ulianbekov. But all of our dogs didn't come through. Moda fought for us, but didn't get the job done. I think half of the over-unders went through, but I'm pretty sure I only got like 5 out of the 13 right. So all in all, losing week, but it is what it is. It was UFC Baku. We were taking a lot of underdog shots, and I'd like to say we're not going to do the same here on this UFC offering. On pay per view, usually pay per view isn't just littered with dogs, it's littered with a lot of favorites. But I have no promises. You know, I'm a dog hunter. You know, I'm just going after value no matter what. We live or die by CLV. It is a stupid way to bet, but it's a fun way to bet. And we're here honestly for fun. So let's go ahead and jump into this really, really fun card. Speaking of the fun, I mean, it is stacked from top to bottom. Maybe not like fight wise, but in regards to prospects, title fights, familiar faces, it has everything you need in a pay per view offering. We're back in Vegas, and let's get back in that winning column. First fight of the night, we have Nico Price at plus 1,000 going up against Jacoby Smith at minus 1,800. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 is plus money at plus 175. The under 1.5 is minus 230. Let's go ahead and start with Nico Price because he's basically getting sacrificed here. Nico Price is 35 years old. He will have a 4-inch reach advantage. He is okay striking and okay power. He can put your lights out if you let him hit you right. So he's got that going for him. Otherwise, his jujitsu's not great. His wrestling's not great. Defensively speaking, has a 52% takedown defense. He's pretty hittable. And he doesn't have the best cardio. He does slow down in all of his fights. We saw him get knocked out in round 3 against Phil Rowe when he was winning. We saw him lose and gas out against Dumba Garimbo. That's a terrible look. And that was a year ago. So he's not getting any better. He kind of beat up Alex Morono, who also gassed out. Yeah, but he is on a big losing streak. I mean, his last credible win was Randy Brown in 2018. Unless you count Tim Means, yeah, he does not have a lot of good credible wins at all. He's just overall not a good fighter. If he catches you right, you can put your lights out. Otherwise, he doesn't really offer much. I apologize if you hear my dog barking. There's someone walking across, so just give it 1 second. Um, but talking about his opponent here in Jacoby Smith, if you remember Mansour Abdul Malik recently in his, I think that was 2 or 3 fight cards ago against Cody, against Cody Brundage. This guy is exactly the same thing. Jacoby Smith and Mansour Abdul Malik are essentially the same person. He's 29 years old. He's also undefeated at 10-0. He has good striking, but he has a background in wrestling that is kind of his bread and butter. He hits extremely hard. If he touches you, essentially you're going out. He loves the pressure forward, and his cardio, although he has a crap ton of muscle on him, he does have the ability to go all 15 minutes. All in all, they're just kind of sacrificing Nico's Price here to start the fight card off. They want to make sure that they get a finish on these pay-per-view offerings, and that's what they're going to get here. That's why the over is at plus money. So you don't have to waste a lot of time. This is a legal sacrifice. We're going to take Jacoby Smith as the pick. You can't really bet that, but you're just going to have to eat chalk and take him at under 1.5. Because if Nico Price is getting knocked out round 1 by Robbie Lawler, he may not make it a minute with Jacoby Smith. So the pick is going to be Smith. The bet is going to be the under 1.5 because that's the only option you really have realistically. Because Smith's number's growing even more. So next fight of the night is another one where I'm staring at the under. We have Jonita Denise at minus 305 going up against Alvin Hines, UFC newcomer at plus 245. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 140, under 1.5 at plus 110. Let's just go ahead and start with the newcomer in case you don't know who Alvin Hines is. Alvin Hines isn't great, to be honest with you. He does train with Thomas Peterson, and Thomas Peterson's not the greatest fighter in the world. He's 7-0. Which again, in 2025, the undefeated guys are having some issues. So there's like four of them on the card. So I don't know who's going to shit the bed. Probably Hines. His wrestling's okay. Again, he trains with Thomas Peterson. He doesn't have a wrestling pedigree like Thomas, but he did wrestle a decent amount in high school. His jujitsu's okay. The only reason I'll say it is because he does have like ground and pound finishes. He does have an arm triangle and Americana, a rear naked choke. He does have a lot of submissions on his record, but it comes to be really, really easy. And part of that is because of the level of competition. I mean, the guys he's fighting were 1-3, 3-0. Philip Latu's okay. But Taylor was 2-1. Mark Courier's 3-4. Junior Hicks is 2-0. The best guy he beat was 4-1, and that's a little concerning. He hasn't really been tested at all. And in regard to his wrestling, he's not going to take you out in the open. He's a big cage wrestler. As soon as he gets you down to the cage, he's shooting a double, and he's really good at getting his hands together, lifting you up, or just cutting the corner and getting you taken down to the ground. But again, he does slow down in all of his fights. His striking, he's extremely hittable. And although he's pressuring forward, he's not really hitting you with a ton of stuff. Like his striking's not that good. His wrestling's all right. And his jujitsu, he knows what he's doing against lower level competition. If you give any sort of a semblance of resistance on the ground, he can't do that to you. Is he going to get that from Denise? No. Denise has no fucking clue what he's doing on the ground. I will always compare Denise to Robelis de Spain because every time I've seen Denise on the ground, I've never seen him get up. It's very, very concerning when he gets taken down. But when he's not on the ground and he's on the feet, this dude is a problem. He's 34 years old. He's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage in this matchup. I would say he's a good striker, but that might not be doing it justice. He's one of these guys that came over from Glory Kickboxing. So you look at the Israel Adesanyas, the Alex Poetan Pereiras, the Dustin Jacobys. These guys are really, really good strikers that transitioned. Well, Jacoby not, but transitioned from kickboxing over to MMA because it's more money. He did the exact same thing. So again, he has a high pedigree of striking. He has good power. If he touches you, you go out. His cardio's not good. It's not bad, but he can go a 15 minutes. He'll be huffing and puffing, but he'll go all 15. But again, his jiu-jitsu's trash, and he's rocking a 69% takedown defense. He hasn't fought the world's best wrestlers, so 69% isn't the greatest look. I mean, Neves, Lane, Carl Williams, they're not the greatest. Marcin Tybura is a pretty good wrestler, and Marcin Tybura got the finish on the ground. So, yeah, his jiu-jitsu is non-existent. But is Hines going to get the takedown? That's what it comes down to. Because if Hines stays on the feet for more than 10 seconds, he's screwed. He's going to get KO'd. If Hines gets this down to the ground, he's a very extremely live dog. So initially, I was going to go over and just kind of do a dog or pass in regards to Hines, but I can't do it. I just look at Hines and I just can't physically do it. I think he's going to get clipped with something. So what I'll do is I'll just take the under 2.5. If he gets the takedown, maybe he submits Denise. If he can't get the takedown, he will get knocked out relatively soon. So why pick a side when you can just choose violence? I like the under 1.5 at plus money at plus 110. We'll see how long that lasts. But the under 2.5 is a little safer, and it is parlayable. So the pick is going to be Denise, and the bet is going to be the under 2.5. We'll take the alt line. Next fight of the night, we don't have any lines for because the fight got switched right now. I have not ever seen the name Christopher Ewart. So I know it was supposed to be Cedric Dumas going up against Jackson McVeigh. I have no idea who Christopher Ewart is. So this is a real last second change. He's coming in on a few days' notice. So what we're going to do is go through it with you. We're going to do a quick Tapology search, and then we will come back and give opinions or true thoughts after doing fight tape, after actually seeing what he does. But yeah, let's just take an initial Tapology scroll. This is not going to be anything official, but I'm just kind of curious. Give me 1 second. Okay. So Christopher Ewert is 31 years old. Interesting. Last weigh in at 185. So at least it's the proper weight class. It's not someone going up a weight class. Let's see if he had a bout scheduled. He did for August 12th. He was going to be on Contender Series. Interesting. Against Yuri. Okay. I know who Yuri is. He was on Contender Series like 2 seasons ago. In regard to notable names, I don't see any. I don't see any I recognize. Not the greatest records, 11-9, 5-2. 5-0, Reese Watkins. Went to decision, got a win. That's nice to, at least on paper, he should be able to go 15 minutes. A lot of KOs, so I would say knee to chin. Yeah, sounds like a striker for sure. Looks like a striker for sure. So a ton of finishes, and I do like seeing when they go to decision to see. Oh, he went to decision twice, and he won both. So it seems as if his cardio checks out. But again, I know absolutely nothing about him. I will have to check him out. I did do research on Jackson McVeigh. Now, he is an interesting case. He's predominantly a jiu-jitsu guy. His wrestling's not the greatest. He does have a body lock takedown that he goes to over and over and over again. Um, and he does have pretty solid jujitsu when he's on the ground. When he's on the feet, he doesn't look good on the feet, but he does hit decently hard. He's 26 year old and he's just a finisher, man. All of his wins are inside of round one. He has decent power on him, but again, the striking is a work in progress. His jiu-jitsu is great, but the wrestling is a work in progress. I know nothing about his cardio because every single one of his wins are like they're not just in the first round. A lot of these wins are in the first 30 seconds to a minute. So he is not fighting long at all. It looks like he has a decision win on an amateur bout, but um, amateur bouts aren't that long. They're not a whole 15 minutes. And his only career loss is to Wes Schultz on the amateurs. And Wes Schultz, at least, is a credible guy. I know who Wes Schultz is, and he's been on Contender Series, so he's fought okay guys. But at the end of the day, McVeigh could be an absolute killer, or he could be a can crusher, and we're not really sure. Cedric Dumas would have been a good test for him, but instead, we're getting this other kid that I know nothing about, but it looks like it's going to be kind of a grappler versus striker ordeal. I'm just, on first glance, scared that with Jackson getting a few KOs, is going to think that he is a striker. And it seems as if he should take this other guy down. He's going to be in front of a crowd. They're both going to be in the UFC, having their UFC debut. So I hope he just sticks to the game plan and gets the takedown and gets the finish. Otherwise, it looks like he's going to come out there and go for blood. Um, I'll probably just take the under, whatever it is. Neither one of these guys are proven. Both these guys are going to want to make a name for themselves on a pay-per-view card. So as of right now, I'm leaning the under. But again, I do have to do a lot of research on the other kid. I don't have to do any research on Terrence McKinney. We know who he is, and we know he's a minus 185 favorite going up against Vyacheslav Borishev at plus 155. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 is plus 170. It is a T Rex fight. Under 1.5 at minus 220. Let's start with Terrence McKinney since we're talking about him. Terrence McKinney is okay striking, but he has a ton of power. He might be one of the hardest hitters at 155 pound for pound. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage. He has good wrestling. He's a better wrestler than striker. He just knocks everyone out, so people forget that. He's actually a very solid jiu-jitsu practitioner. Grew up wrestling and training with Mike Chiesa. So he's basically Mike Chiesa with good striking and power. So you're thinking, well, he should be amazing, right? He should be. However, he does have a tendency to get chin checked. He doesn't have the greatest chin in the world. And the most important thing about Terrence McKinney is that he has the worst cardio in lightweight history. The dude cannot go more than about 7 minutes, and then he just completely gasses out. His level of competition's okay. He's going out there, he's beating Demir Hadzovic. He's out there he's out there beating Mike Breeden. He's out there beating Faraz Ziem, choking him out real quick. Aged very, very well. Matt Favola knocking him out in 7 seconds looks good. And then his losses. I mean, Nazim Sadikov was interesting. He was winning the fight. Nazim cheated, and then after he held on to the cage, we saw Nazim last week. Nazim held on to the cage, prevented a takedown, and then ultimately Terrence's arm got stuck and trapped, and he got choked out. So that was a little bit of a question mark. Israel Bonfim just honestly just whooped his ass over in Brazil. There's nothing to be said there. All in all, he's a finisher. He's a good wrestler, good jiu-jitsu, pretty decent striking, hits extremely hard. He just has no cardio or chin or whatsoever, which are probably the things you need most in MMA. On the other side, we have Slava Claus. Slava Claus, 33 years old. He is the striking coach over at Team Alpha Male. He is a good striker. He does have sneaky power. He doesn't look intimidating, but he hits a lot harder than he looks. His cardio checks out. He can go 15 minutes, but his wrestling's trash. And that's the book on him. 43% takedown defense, and everyone knows it. And everyone goes out there and takes him down. In addition, he's been in a lot of wars. He's only 33 years old. MMA wise, he only has a few fights at 8-5-1. But kickboxing wise, the dude's been punched in the face a lot, and his chin is going with age. 33 on paper, but in fight years, this dude's like 50. His chin is gone. He's just completely starched. So he has no chin and no wrestling. Terrence McKinney, a good wrestler, has no chin and no cardio. So what is going to happen here? Something's got to give. T-Rex has more ways to win. He can go out there and knock out Slava real quick. He can go out there and he can take down Slava and choke him out real quick. Or he can go out there and maybe win his first ever decision because Slava has really, really bad wrestling and just take him down and just try to breathe. Literally, stay on top and breathe. Slava Claus can knock out Terrence. That's his only way to win. So I'll go ahead and I'll take the guy with three different ways to win and Terrence McKinney. The pick is going to be Terrence McKinney. The bet's going to be Terrence McKinney at 185 minus. Next fight of the night, we have Viviane Azarujo at plus 205 going up against Tracy Cortez at minus 250. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 is ridiculous. It's at minus 660. Under 2.5 at plus 420. Let's start with Vivi. Viviana is old as dirt. She's 38 years old now. She's going to have a 2.5 inch reach advantage, which is nice. She does have good striking. She does have good jujitsu. She's a BJJ black belt. Her wrestling's okay, and she averages like 2 takedowns per fight. She'll sneak it in there. Like she'll try to go for like 4 a fight. Problem with Vivi is that she does slow down. Part of that is because she's 38, and her chin is starting to leave. The older she gets, I've seen her drop a few times. Alexa Grasso was able to drop her. Karina Silva hurt her. Natalia Silva dropped her. Like she's been dropped in like 3 of her last 5 fights, which was not common. So I think now with her being 38 years old, that durability is starting to fade. She does have 80% takedown defense. So with her decent wrestling and good takedown defense, she generally dictates where the fight is going. And she's fought a good level of competition. Again, I'm talking about her getting dropped, but Natalia Silva may fight for a title soon. Jennifer Maia is a former title challenger. Karina Silva was a ranked opponent. Amanda Hebas is ranked in the top 10. Alexa Grasso is a former champion. Caitlin Seminara fought for the title. These are good fighters, and she's going out there and beating the one she's supposed to and losing to the former champs and ones that are about to fight for a title. So overall, she's a really good fighter. She's just super old, and she's starting to fade. Did she fade enough for Tracy Cortez to win this fight? I don't know, man. I don't really like this line for Tracy. Tracy's 31 years old. She's a wrestler herself. So if she takes down Vivi, that's not great. Vivi's a much better BJJ practitioner. Cortez has good wrestling. She has good striking. Her jiu-jitsu's all right, but defensively wrestling wise, 62% takedown defense. Even like in her last fight against Rose Namajunas, she was able to take her down multiple times, and Vivi's a much better wrestler than Rose Namajunas. Her schedule is okay, but Vivi's fought the better girls. And Cortez misses weight all the fucking time. So just make sure you keep an eye out to see if she's going to make the weight here. We haven't seen her in over a year. And her cardio sometimes does have a tendency to fade. So her striking is getting much better. If she wants to keep this on the feet and just strike with Vivi, she might be able to win that. But I don't think she's dropping Arujo. She does not hit hard at all. She's kind of pillow fisted. If she wants to take this fight down to the ground and win that way, she played guard with Melissa Gatto a little bit. Vivi's just as good, and you're kind of playing with fire. So I think Vivi could catch her in a sub. I think the sub's extremely live. I think it's 50-50 on the feet. And Vivi has a better takedown defense. So if you're giving me plus 200 on Vivi, who dictates where this fight takes place, I will trust that. You can't bet the over at minus 660. And again, I might get crazy and I might take Vivi by sub. So I'm staring at this under. Thinking maybe something happens, watching Vivi get dropped all the time, and Cortez seems due to be subbed. But all in all, I won't get too greedy. I'll just take the underdog who I think is live. So the pick is going to be Viviana. The bet's going to be Viviana. And that's where we're going to start this little dog hunting run because we're not going to do the same thing in the next fight with Hyder Emil at plus 155, going up against Jose Delgado at minus 180. Over 2.5 is plus 130, under 2.5 at minus 165. Let's start with Gilbert Melendez, boy, Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil is a savage. He has good striking, he has pretty decent power. His cardio is okay. He gets tired in his fights, but he continues to fight tired. He has 11-0. So again, you got to be careful. One of these 11-0, one of these undefeated guys are going to lose every single card. His jiu-jitsu is all right, but the name of game for Hyder Emil is pressure. The Hurricane is a very, very good nickname for him because all he does is march forward and swing heavies over and over and over again. He throws a ton of volume, and he will sprinkle in a takedown here and there if he really wants to. He took down William Gomez a few times. He sprinkled in a takedown against Fernie Garcia. Like, he will just mix it up and take you down. And it's hard to take him down. He's rocking an 80% takedown defense. He's been chin checked before, and I've seen him wobbled. But all in all, this guy has been training with Gilbert Melendez for years. This is his protege. This is his boy. He is living vicariously through him. He is just a pressure fighter who will fight for your money. I just hate that he's 35 years old. This is the finished product. He started real late in his career, but 35 is 35. So seeing him chin check 2 fights ago is a little concerning. Seeing him get a little more tired in his last fight. He came in with double knee sleeves, but he ultimately got the win. Said he was having some leg injuries. So I think his body's starting to break down a little. But when he's in there, he is a fucking monster. On the other side, we have Jose Delgado, who's also a monster. He's 27 years old, and he's entering his prime. He's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, and he's also an ex-fighter's protege. He is the protege of Benson Henderson, former lightweight champion. Delgado trains at MMA Lab, obviously. He has good striking. He has decent power. His jiu-jitsu is okay. His cardio is very good. His volume's very high. But his wrestling, he's not a good offensive wrestler. He'll also try to sprinkle it in. Defensively, though, he's a little worse than Emil is. 66% takedown defense. People like Connor Matthews are taking him down multiple times. People like on the regional scene, I've seen him taken down multiple times. So do be a little worried about his takedown defense. I'm not a fan of it. But he does have a pretty decent get up game. He's very hard to hold down. So if Emil does get the takedowns, I really don't see him holding him down there. Um, he's a lot better in space. You can clip this guy if you get in close, and that's the reason I'm leaning towards Hyder Emil, because all Hyder Emil does is pressure and get in your face by any means necessary. Delgado is an absolute wild man as well, but in space. He likes to throw kicks. He likes to throw leg kicks, body kicks, knees, Superman punches. And he just throws a ton of crazy shit at you nonstop at a high clip at distance. Hyder Emil is coming in as a berserker, getting in your face and trying to put your lights out. So if he pressures Delgado, that's not the Delgado doesn't want to fight in a phone booth. He wants to fight in space. And Emil doesn't allow that to happen. And Emil is the older fighter at plus money and undefeated. So at this point, better takedown defense, plus money, I got to do it. So the pick is going to be Hyder Emil. The bet's going to be Hyder Emil, but it should be a fucking barn burner. Next fight of the night, we have Jack Hermanson at plus 170 going up against Gregory Robocop Rodriguez at minus 205. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 145. Under 2.5 at plus 115. Let's start with Jack Hermanson. If you forgot who he is, understandable because we haven't seen him in a few years. I think it's been a year and a half. The Joe Piper fight was in 2024 in February. So it's been a year and a half. And I have no idea why. I didn't see any interviews where he said he was hurt. I don't know where he's been for a year and a half. All I know is that he's 37 years old now, and we haven't seen him in a year and a half. So that's a little concerning. Jack is the ultimate gatekeeper at 185. Him and Robert Whitaker, you have to beat one of them in order to get a title shot, literally. He has good striking. He has really good jiu-jitsu. He has good wrestling, takedown defense, 80% takedown defense. Honestly, I was looking at his record. He hasn't been taken down since 2018. It's been 7 years since someone took him down in the octagon. He has really good cardio. Um, and he throws decent volume. He throws pretty good volume. He's a strategist. If he thinks he needs to take you down to the ground, he will. If he wants to just dance around and jab the whole time, he will. He doesn't care. He's very pillow fisted. He's not a knockout artist. So if he has to just jab you for 15 minutes like he did the Chris Curtis, he has no problem doing that. And again, 80% takedown defense, he usually dictates where the fight takes place. Here's the problem. He has a few losses. His losses were to Roman Dolidze in the UFC. He lost to Jared Cannonier in the UFC. He lost to Marvin Vettori in the UFC. Are they the world's greatest strikers? No. But you know what all three of those guys do? They hit really hard and they pressure. Marvin doesn't hit that hard, but he just marches forward and he pressures, pressures, pressures. I just said Jack likes to just jab and dance around, but if you can cut Jack off, he struggles. He does not like it. He doesn't like getting hit. He doesn't have the world's best um, optics when he gets hit. He does not like pressure whatsoever. He wants to dance around. And Gregory Rodriguez doesn't allow you to. Gregory has good wrestling. He's 33 years old. He has good striking. He hits like an absolute truck. I mean, look at the dude. And he pressures you. He doesn't take his foot off the gas. He doesn't take a step backwards. His cardio, not the greatest. He does slow down, especially in round three, but he does throw a ton of volume. He can match Jack's volume, if not throw more. Much better when he's going forward. 88% takedown defense, so I don't think Jack's going to be able to go out there and just wrestle him. Even if he does, Gregory is just as good on the ground as Jack, if not better. So Jack has no choice but to jab for 15 minutes. That's his only route to victory. RoboCop, yeah, he's going to pressure him like crazy, but RoboCop's a little bit of a glass cannon. He hits hard. He can knock anyone out, but if you hit him, he goes out. He cannot take a punch. And that's a little concerning in most fights. But we said earlier, Jack is pillow fisted. Jack hasn't had a knockout in God knows how long, and I don't see it starting now. So the pick is going to be Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. The bet's going to be Robocop. Just styles make fights. And that takes us to the main card. And this main card is absolutely insane. Very first fight of the night is one that could be a fight of the year contender. You have Peyton Talbot at plus 170. People have sold on Peyton Talbot. Going against my guy, Philippe Lima, Jungle Boy at minus 205. Over 2.5, minus 190. Under 2.5 at plus 145. Let's start with Peyton Talbot. Peyton Talbot was everyone's darling. He was 9-0. He was an absolute killer. He has a lot of social media success. He's going out there finishing everyone. Everyone thought he was a future champion. He's 26 years old. He has a 2-inch reach advantage in this matchup. He has good striking. He has weaponized cardio. He has pretty decent power. His jiu-jitsu's okay. His takedown defense isn't good. But he has a very good get-up game. He's very, very hard to take down. He pressures like a motherfucker, throws a ton of volume, and he just does a few things wrong. First and foremost, Hani Barcelos was able to take him down 8 times in their last matchup. But think about how many times this dude got up. He's very, very difficult to hold down. Not hard to take down, hard to hold down. And you can get exhausted perpetually taking him down. Secondly, he gives up round one a lot. He gave up round one to Nick Aguirre, giving up 2 takedowns. He gave up round one to Hani Barcelos. He gave up round one to Reyes Cortez. So he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights in the UFC. And he has given up the first round in 3 of them. Cameron Simon, he just killed. And Yannis Gamori, he also just killed. But yeah, half his fights, he does not win round one. And Nikagori is not, I like Nikagori, but he's not the best fighter. So at the end of the day, this kid had the world in his hands. Everyone loved him. He lost one fight and everyone's turning their back on him. So this line has a lot of recency bias. And I was excited to whoever, you're going to finally get a good line on Peyton Talbot. Because I was on Hani Barcelos and I was on Hani Barcelos by decision. And I made a lot of money fading Peyton Talbot. And I said, as soon as his next fight hits, I cannot wait for everyone to be mad at him and me bet on Peyton Talbot. Here's the problem. They're giving him Felipe Lima, and I fucking love Felipe Lima. This is prospect versus prospect. Peyton Talbot's 26. Lima's only 27. He has good jiu-jitsu. He's training out of All Stars over where like Hamzat was training. He has good wrestling. He has good striking. He has really good jiu-jitsu. His volume's okay. His cardio's good. He can go hard 15 minutes, and he starts really, really fast. He doesn't slow down per se, but this kid always wins round one, and Peyton always loses round one. He throws wild stuff. He loves flying knees. I've never seen a man throw more flying knees in my life. He loves a spinning back fist and a spinning back kicks. He's just a wild man out there. My concern with Felipe Lima is that he hasn't fought at 135 in a while. When he came into the UFC, he fought Muhammad Naimov on short notice up at 145 and was able to get a very impressive finish at 145. Then he fought Miles Johns, who's a ranked competitor. But that fight was at 145. I don't know the last time this dude made 135 was what 2021. It's been 4 years since he's made 135. So I don't know if that's going to affect his gas tank. It hopefully does not against Peyton Talbot because Peyton Talbot does not get tired. He doesn't even breathe out his mouth. He just stares at you like a killer. So this is a super, super fun matchup. This fight could potentially happen for a world title 5 years down the road. Realistically, we probably see this fight again as a title fight. One of these guys are probably going to be champion at some point. That's how much I believe in both of these guys. So it kind of sucks to see them go at it right now. Lima was even on interviews saying that he was originally supposed to fight Jonathan Martinez, and then everyone else was saying no. Peyton Talbot put his hand up and said, I'll do it. And the UFC was forced to do prospect for prospect. So the pick is going to be Lima. But I think you have to take Peyton Talbot at plus 170, or you can live bet him at an even better line. He doesn't win round ones, but he's going to pick it up, and this is going to be close. This could potentially be a split. Maybe it's a Lima split decision. I might take a look at that prop. But I'm going to go dog or pass at this situation. If I'm saying this could be a split decision, you got to take the dog. So the pick is going to be Lima. I love Lima. I want success for both these guys. But the bet, just because of the line, is going to be Peyton Talbot. Next fight of the night. We've broken down before, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. This is a rebooked fight. Beneil Dariush now plus 100, going up against Renato Moicano at minus 120. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5, under 2.5, both at a straight pick 'em. Again, we broke this down. The Armin pulled out of the title fight, so Dariush and Moicano got scrapped. They paid Dariush to show and win money, and they let Moicano fight for the title. It was fair. Everything was well. Then they rebooked the fight. We have a 36-year-old Brazilian with good jiu-jitsu, okay striking, okay cardio, good wrestling, that is a little chinny and can slow down a little bit when it comes to cardio. That describes both of them, literally. Only difference is that Moicano is 71% takedown defense, Dariush at 80% takedown defense. So technically, Dariush is harder to take down, and he did fight people like Matus Gamrot that shoot nonstop. So if Gamrot was struggling to get him down, I do think Moicano is going to have difficulties. Both these guys are chinny. Both these guys should probably retire soon. They're both really, really talented. They're just 36 and chinny. But I think Dariush hits a little harder. So he has a little better takedown defense. He hits a little harder. But again, they are the same thing. They both have fought a good level of competition. They're both 36. They both have good wrestling. They both have okay striking. And they both have world-class jiu-jitsu. They're the exact same fighter. But I'll take the one at plus money that hits harder. I bet him earlier at plus 160. That was a ton of CLV. But even at plus 100, I still think Beneil's the side. So the pick is going to be Beneil Dariush. The bet's going to be Beneil Dariush. Next fight of the night is another potential fight of the year. I can't believe this fight is happening. We have Brandon Raw Dog Royval at plus 100 going up against Joshua Van at minus 120. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 230. Under 2.5 at plus 175. Let's start with Joshua Van. Joshua Van's taking this fight on short notice, but he does that every single time. So what else is new? He's 23 years old. That's absolutely insane. He's 14-2. He has good striking. He has weaponized cardio. He has okay jujitsu. It's not good. It's not bad. He's working on it. His takedown defense is pretty solid, and he has a really good get-up game when he does get taken down. He throws a ton of volume. I think some of the most in UFC currently. Here's the problem with Joshua Van. He can start very, very slow. We've seen him lose the first round to Felipe Buns, lose the first round to Edgar Chairez, to Kevin Borjas, to Zalgas Ubagulov. Like, he's lost the first round quite a bit. We've also seen him chin check before. And I don't think that he has a bad chin. It's that he's fought like 10 times in a year and a half. Like, he does not stop fighting. He fought 2 times in the UFC in 23. He fought 4 times in the UFC in 24. And so far in 25, he's fought 1, 2, 3. This is going to be his 4th fight in 2025, and we're only into June. Like, that's insane. This dude's manager needs to chill the fuck out. Sorry, 2. This got canceled. Still, his manager still needs to chill regardless. His chin is not that bad, but it's always going to be compromised if he's taking shots and then fighting 8 weeks later over and over and over again. Like, he just physically, I know he's 23 and he feels unstoppable, but he needs a break. That chin is going to get caught. Do I think he's really good? Yes. Do I think he's a future champ? Probably, in all honesty. He just has cardio. That cardio is the biggest weaponized part of his game. Only issue is he's fighting the only guy that can keep up with that cardio in 125. Brandon Raw Dog Royval has been doing the same exact fight style, only for a lot longer time period. Brandon Royval has 5-inch reach advantage. Nice little snappy jab on him. 32 years old, so he's in his prime. He has good striking. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has weaponized cardio. His wrestling's not great. Offensively or defensively, but neither one of these guys are probably going to shoot a takedown. You can chin check Raw Dog just like you can chin check Josh Van. But Raw Dog also throws good volume, and he's fought the better level of competition. Van has fought good people like Cody Durden, like Bruno Silva, but Raw Dog has fought for the title. Raw Dog has fought Pantoja twice. Raw Dog has fought Brandon Moreno twice. Raw Dog has fought Ray Tsu, or not Ray, sorry, Tatsuro Taira. He's only lost to Alexander Pantoja. He technically has a loss against Brandon Moreno, but his shoulder popped out, so it was an injury. It's not like Moreno went out there and won, so that really doesn't count. He has a win over Kai Kara France, who's winning for a title. Not just a win, he subbed him. He dropped him and subbed him. So Tim Elliott, win. Matt Schnaut, win. Rogerio Bontorin, win. Like, he's beating at Mateus Nicolau, win. Like, he's beating all of the top 10. He's a very, very, very good fighter. He doesn't hit that hard, but he's real bony, and he'll throw like spinning elbows and knees and stuff that have a lot of power on them and could potentially put Van out. Van could rib roast him and then go up top, could potentially put Raw Dog out. So I think it's a close fight. I'm just going to take the experience at plus money. That's the only way you can look. So the pick is going to be Raw Dog. The bet's going to be Raw Dog. And Raw Dog is my favorite current fighter. There's no way I'm turning my fucking back on my boy. Raw Dog by finish, baby. I think it's going to be a club and sub. I think he's going to hit him with something. He's going to rock Van. I don't think he's going to take him down. He's going to rock Van, jump on that neck, and take it fucking home. The pick is Raw Dog. The bet is the GOAT. Brandon Raw Dog Royval. Then we start with our first title fight. We have Alexander Pantoja, minus 260, going up against Kai Kara France at plus 210. Over-under set at 3.5. Over 3.5, minus 160. Under 3.5 at plus 125. Let's start with KKF. To be quite frank, I think the only reason he's getting this title fight is because he hasn't fought Pantoja yet. Pantoja has essentially cleared out the division. KKF is coming off of one career win. Sorry, he lost two in a row. He got one win over Steve Usyk, and now he's getting a title shot. Is it deserved? No. Did they would they rather do that than give Raw Dog a third title fight? Or sorry, a third fight against Pantoja? Yes. So that's the only reason KKF is here. KKF has good striking, sneaky power on him. His nickname is Don't Blink, and it is appropriate. He gets a shockingly amount of KOs for this weight class. His takedown defense is phenomenal. 90% takedown defense, technically at 88, I believe, but essentially a 90% takedown defense. He throws good volume. He has good cardio. He got hard 25 minutes. He does everything well. Very, very hard to take down. Very, very difficult to deal with on the feet. The problem is if for some reason he hits the ground, his jiu-jitsu is not great. It is not great. I've seen him almost subbed multiple times. I've seen him actually subbed multiple times. His jiu-jitsu is trash. And he knows that. That's why he just doesn't get taken down. That's that's his approach. He's not going to work on his jiu-jitsu. He's going to work on his takedown defense. And then it's a brick wall at 90% takedown defenses. And that's not just against nobodies. That's Amir Albazi. That's Brandon Moreno. That's Askar Askarov. That's Cody Garbrandt. That's Rogerio Bontorin. Those are good wrestlers. Um, look at him, that lost to Raw Dog Royval. But yeah, man, he's a really, really good fighter, and he knows what he's good at. He knows what he's bad at, and he definitely is live in this matchup. On the other side, we have Pantoja, who is one of the goats at 125. Pantoja is 35 years old, so he's about to leave his prime. He has good wrestling. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has okay striking. He's a little hittable, but he's a pressure fighter. He does not stop coming forward. His cardio, he will slow down, but he will fight well while tired. And obviously has a great level of competition. He's cleaned out the entire weight class. He's 29-5. The dude is damn good. What I did notice is that on Embedded, he was going for the single leg takedown that Bontarine hit on KKF. Again, KKF is very, very, very difficult to take down. Bontarine made it look somewhat easy going for a single leg instead of doubles and upper bodies. And I watched Pantoja do that exact same single leg twice on Embedded. I think he did his fight tape. I think I know exactly what he's going to try to do. And that scares me. Because if he gets KKF's back, the fight's over. He will submit KKF if he gets his back. You cannot let this guy on your back. He gets subs over everyone. So it's going to be KKF beating him up on the feet for 25 minutes, maybe even knocking him out. I've seen him drop. I've seen Pantoja dropped a few times. Or it's going to be Pantoja pressuring, finally getting the takedown. And if he gets that back, it's a wrap. He's going to sub him. Either way, I don't hate the under here at plus 125 at 3.5. But I don't know how. Is it going to happen in the fourth round? Is it going to happen at all? If KKF wins, it's most likely a decision. So it's a matter of what you're looking at. I don't think he KOs him. So at that point, I think it turns into a dogger pass. I think Pantoja wins. My heart is telling me it's a dogger pass with KKF, but I really don't know what to do here. Um, uh, all right. The pick is going to be Alexander Pantoja. Do I have the balls to bet Kai Kara France? I don't know. No, I'm going to pick Pantoja. I'm going to pick Pantoja, and I will throw Pantoja in one parlay. Fuck it. I think Pantoja gets the job done. But God, KKF is live. And that takes us to the main event. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram, over on TikTok, wherever there's social media. There's the Stats and Stacks podcast. I mean, one of the best, another really, really good fight in Ilia Topuria at minus 455. That's insane. Going up against Charles Oliveira at plus 350. Over under set at 1.5 in this title fight. Over 1.5 minus 145. Under 1.5 at plus 115. Let's start with the undefeated Ilya Topuria. Again, some people are losing O's here. Is it going to be Ilya? I don't know. He's 28 years old. He has a great level of competition. He has knocked out everyone at 145. He knocked out Max. He knocked out Volk. He's knocked out. He beat the hell out of Josh Emmett. He knocked out. he choked out uh, Bryce Mitchell. Like he's has a good level of competition. He decisioned Yusuf Zalal. He is a good striker. Really, really good boxer with a ton of power. He has a death touch. If he touches you, you go out. He has world class jujitsu that he doesn't even really have to use. He has really, really good wrestling. His cardio, he can slow down, but we've seen him go 25 minutes. He does pressure forward. And his chin, I have seen him dropped a few times. Everyone's going to talk about the Jai Herbert dropping, but I've seen him dropped on the regional scene. I think Yusuf Zalal dropped him at one point too. So I have seen him chin check before. But again, he's 16-0. He hasn't gone fully out. Good recoverability. You can stun him, but no one's putting him all the way out. Here's my greasy theory. The world wants Charles Oliveira to win. Should he win? No. Topuria should go out there and just knock him out in a minute. In all honesty, he hits that goddamn hard. He's not that goddamn good. He should knock out Charles quick. But I went back and I looked at his record and just, although these are great fighters, tell me when he has fought a power puncher. He fought Max Holloway, great fighter. Doesn't hit that hard. Alexander Volkanovski, great fighter. Doesn't hit that hard. Josh Emmett hits fucking hard. He hits really hard. I'll give you that one, but he's 40 years old. Like he ain't no spring chicken. Bryce Mitchell, great wrestler. Doesn't hit that hard. Jay Herbert, good striker. Doesn't hit that hard. Ryan Hall doesn't hit at all. Damon Jackson doesn't hit at all. Yusuf Zalal, great fighter. Doesn't hit that hard. So he's fought a good level of competition. He's only fought one guy that could put his lights out until Saturday. Charles Oliveira is probably the hardest puncher he's ever came across. Do Bronx is 35 years old, so if he's going to do it again, it's got to be now. He has a 5-inch reach advantage. He is a massive giant for this weight class. He has good jujitsu, great jujitsu, the most submissions in UFC history. So if you take him down, you're playing with fire. On the feet, he has really good striking, and both Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje said he's the hardest hitter they've ever gone against. This dude cracks hard. His wrestling, sneaky good. The problem I have with Charles, and he loves to pressure forward too. So both these guys are pressure fighters. They're going to meet in the middle, and someone's probably going out. Both have been chin checked in the past, but Charles a little more than Ilya. Charles gets dropped in every single fight. He's been knocked out before multiple times, but he got dropped in the Michael Chandler fight. He got dropped in the Arman Sarukian fight. Or no, he didn't. He got dropped in the Islam Makhachev fight. He got dropped in the Justin Gaethje fight. He got dropped in the Dustin Poirier fight. He got dropped in the first Michael Chandler fight. This guy has gone on this incredible run and has been knocked down in every single one of his fights outside of one. So if Ilya hits you like that when Charles is a little hittable, that's not good. Because if Ilya catches you, you're out. You're not getting dropped. You're going out. Is Ilya going to box? Is Ilya going to wrestle? I don't really know. To my knowledge, I would say Ilya's just going to want to stand and bang. But Ilya, all the times I've seen him drop, it was a tall, lanky guy using Muay Thai strikes. Um, Jay Herbert was using a ton of knees up the middle, a lot of head kicks, just like a Muay Thai fight style. And that's all DuBronx does. He's one of these guys that threatens that knee over and over and over again, and he'll throw wild kicks and stuff because if he gets taken down, he's that good on the ground. He doesn't care. He wants to be on the ground. So he has all confidence and liberty to throw wild stuff on the feet. This is a bad matchup for Ilya Topuria, but I think it's just as bad for Charles Oliveira. So I think one of these titles are going to change. Obviously, this title is vacant. There's going to be a new champion. But say Ilya, who hasn't lost his belt, I'll still consider him a champion. Ilya or Pantoja, one of them are going to lose. I just have no clue which one it is. I have no clue. I want it to be Pantoja so that Raw Dog can fight KKF again and try to get that strap, baby. But I don't know. It might be DuBronx that gets the job done. I think Ilya. I can't pick both. I can't pick Ilya and Pantoja. I'll pick Pantoja, and at that point, I'll pick Ilya, but I'm going to bet DuBronx. I think one of these guys go down, and I think it's 50-50. So this odds at plus 350, you have to. The pick is Ilya. The bet is Charles DuBronx Oliveira. And that's UFC 317. It's one hell of a fight card, International Fight Week. I am fucking pumped. I cannot wait. And it's going to be legendary if we make some money along the way. Let's get after it.